welcome to our Core Devs testing call number 70 on the 16th of February. Let's get right into it. Number one on the agenda is still Fusaka and partial sales update and GitLab's V3 implementation update. Can we hear an update from all the consensus layer clients, what kind of progress they made in the past weeks? Whether they are ready to be onboarded on Blob DevNet 0. Currently, we have Lighthouse and Prism close to ready. Maybe we have someone from Teku that they could give us an update. Or Nimbus.
Sure, yeah. libp2p for us is pretty much ready. So now we're trying to get in the rest in, but that's that was just last week that got to a usable state.
The TLDR is we currently have about 20 nodes. Each of the nodes, or half of the nodes are super nodes, half of the nodes are full nodes. There's not that many validators, and we have latency added of 80 milliseconds between each of the nodes, and the MEV node that is publishing the private blobs is limited to maximum of 2 peers. So here we are basically trying to mimic a very poorly performant network with added latency and multiple hops in order for us to be able to see the results of GitLab's V3 without having the GitLab V2 eagerly pushing all the blob information out. This is not full pure test. This is just a partial sales. Marius, the full pure test is, I think that's still a research topic. Anyway, I think we can do like a proper bigger test once we have onboarded more consensus layer clients. Hopefully in the next week or two, we can onboard Teku and Nimbus, and maybe a couple of weeks later, others as well. Anyone else would have client update regarding partial sales stuff? Yeah, we can take a look at that offline. I haven't looked into the network today yet. If no more client updates, then maybe we can move on to Glamsterdam and block level access list updates. We had a couple of bugs throughout the weekend. Stefan has reached out to all the clients regarding the specific bugs. For now, we have reverted into a previous comment that was working. We currently have 100% participation, but hopefully those bugs can be fixed by the reached out clients. Do we have any other updates regarding local access list?
Yes, I have a short update.
Yep.
In the last breakout call, we discussed how we want to deal with a potential DOS vector. Basically, what happens if a malicious builder would fill the block level access list with a lot of garbage storage reads. And the easiest fix for that was basically to have a hard cap on the items in the block level access list. So this would be a hard cap that would not be limiting to block builders, because you would always first hit the gas limit before you hit the max bal item limit. So this is like only a safety guard against a malicious builder. I posted the PR against the EAP into the agenda
Yeah, I just posted it here as well in the chat.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you look at it, there's one thing. So in the PR, I say gas available, but this should actually be the gas limit. So I have to fix that. Also, one thing in the current PR, we incorporate the max withdrawals and the max consolidation into the formula, which is not super clean in my opinion. So this is probably one of the things we want to discuss we can discuss today or in the next breakout call, but essentially how we could simplify that formula. And one important thing here is we currently assume that the minimum cost to have an item in the BAL is 2000 gas, which comes from putting a storage key on the 2930 access list and then accessing it, which costs another 100 gas on top of the 1900 that you pay for the access list slot. And this might be not needed anymore or could be simplified if we go for EAP 7981, which adds a cost on top of the access lists on the 2930 access lists, makes them more expensive. Thus, the minimum cost to put an item onto the BAL will increase for that. So there's probably some simplifications that will be done. To this PR, I saw it was automatically merged by now, but yeah, just as a heads up, I think clients have already implemented something like this, but it will change. This is nothing that will affect DevNet 2 or DevNet 3, I would say. We want to have that check by DevNet 3, so there will be tests ready by the time. But yeah, just as a heads up that there will be some changes coming.
Thank you. Anyone else has any other changes, open questions that we still have to discuss regarding block to access list?
Maybe let me just add quick question. Marius, you're referring, is this question directed to me? Like, what is the max gas limit this could support?
Yes. Like,
Okay, yeah. So the formula uses the gas limit, so it will just scale with the gas limit. Currently, the simplest approach would be you take the gas limit and you divide it by 2000, and this is then the maximum items we can have in the block level access list. Of course, there are some items that are for free. For example, state diffs coming from withdrawals or consolidations, because no one pays for them actually. So those are currently subtracted in the formula. And yeah, if someone has suggestions how to implement that simply without using those two constants, the max withdrawal and the max consolidation, I'm open to hear them. But I would say the simplest would probably be we do something like gas limit divided by 2000 and just cap it at that. Yeah, just to make sure that we're not limiting. The goal is to not introduce any new constraints. So the gas limit should be the only constraint here, and we don't want to create like a complicated situation for builders here.
Right. What is the problem with using those values?
In my opinion, it's just not super clean because those values are defined in CL EAPs. So it's the max withdrawals of 16 and the max consolidations of 2. And it will then always need updates in the future every time when we introduce new state changes from system contracts. We would also have to update this number. And yeah, also if we increase the number of withdrawals. I'm not sure, but I would assume the simplest would just be to simplify the formula by just not using those constants, and we should be fine too, because we don't. It's just for preventing DOS from an invalid block, so it's not like a super serious attack, but definitely something we have to make sure that we are not vulnerable.
Makes sense. Yusam has a comment that it should be possible to construct a block which violates this constraint, because then you will have invalid EVM execution. Yusuf, do you want to also add something else?
Yeah, I just wanted to note it because this constraint, it's basically a check which you do on quickly invalidating the block level access list, but it should not be interpreted as like a constraint which should be checked in the EVM, because you cannot construct such a block level access list.
Yeah, exactly. This will be something outside when clients receive the block level access list over the engine API. This constraint can directly be enforced. So you would directly count how many items does the block level access list have. And if the number of items is already unrealistic compared with respect to the gas limit, then clients should invalidate the block immediately without even starting execution. And this is why we need to agree on the formula here in order to make sure that all clients invalidate that block early.
Okay. Well, let's target to check this in the next DevNet, I think, and put in the scope of DevNet 3. Then there's one more open question regarding an execution API question. Tony, maybe you can also give us an update regarding this PR.
Yes, let me quickly pull it up. Okay, this was the JSON RPC methods, right? The JSON RPC methods were simplified, so we don't use by block number or by block hash anymore. No, sorry, we now use block number or tag or hash in the JSON RPC. I saw from Karim and Bartnet that they already approved those changes. Yeah, I think we have an agreement that we go for this. I already updated the description in the PR. So yeah, please have a look, and would be great to get those implemented for DevNet 3. Also, one change compared to DevNet 2 would be that we don't return the RLP bytes in the response, because this is a user-facing method. So it would be great if we return the JSON encoded block level access list. And the PR you linked in the chat is already up to date with that.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to add to this or the previous PR? In case not, maybe we can ask Aragon regarding their readiness for ball.NET 2.
Right. So yeah, we're getting closer. So I think it will still take us a few days. My estimation is that by the end of this week we'll be ready.
These are the EIPs or the PRs that we were discussing today are going to be scoped for the next DevNet. So you don't need to have these to be onboarded for DevNet 2 yet.
Right. So and the ETH get block access list by hash and by number. The previous variant, is it also not part of DevNet 2?
No, like it doesn't really matter, because it's no service is using this yet. This
Okay,
is kind of
fair
optional.
enough. Okay, got it. Yes, so we are basically we're working on we have some draft implementation of everything, but there are still some test failures, so we are working on fixing those.
Great, thank you. Would we have any other updates from CI clients that would want to be onboarded in block level access list DevNet 2? Doesn't sound like it. So maybe we can move on to the next topic. which would be guest limit changes, the ETH70 update. Last week we launched a new DevNet called NFT DevNet 10, where we activated ETH70. Maybe someone from, was it Marius maybe? Can you give us an update regarding how this network is going?
Sure. So NFT DevNet 10 was launched, and it has some transactions that are not able, like if you cannot sync them anymore if you are snip syncing because the receipts are too large. And we have confirmed Nethermind and Geth current masters are not able to sync the network, and with the ETH70 they are. If you are a client that is trying to implement ETH70, you can just basically use NFT DevNet 10 in order to verify that your client is able to sync. Fabio?
Yeah, on Besu's side, I want to share the progress. I'm able to sync the network. I'm with externally, so I'm connecting to the DevNet. And I'm finalizing the code so I can also join directly the DevNet. I think this week, middle of week, we should be able to join the network.
Very nice. I think Reth and Eragon are not. It's not super high on their priority list because they are full nodes, so they will sync everything anyway. But it would also be nice for them to serve ETH70. And also ETH70 is now a prerequisite for ETH71. ETH71 adds a method to get block access lists. Yes, so if you want to be spec compliant, Eragon and Reth, you also should implement ETH70 and then ETH71 for, I think we decided to move it to DevNet 3, right? Bell DevNet 3.
Yeah, exactly.
From Nethermind side, we are testing with more corner cases. I see now that either guest sends nulls or we read it as like null erase when block is empty. So trying to figure out it now. And we'll test more pairs like synchronizing from Nethermind to Nethermind, guest Nethermind, and so on. Another thing is whether we should split packets, should split receipts that are not like very big but still significant. For now, I implemented it in such a way that if something is bigger than 1/3 of 10 megabytes, we can split it, and yeah.
All right, so just to recap, for Block Level Access List DevNet 3, we're gonna be adding the EIP changes for the DOS attack. We're gonna be adding the ETH71, where ETH70 is the prerequisite, and we're gonna be adding the new RPC call, JSON RPC call that we just discussed. Is there any other change that we expect for Block Level Access List 3?
I don't think so. Only the optimization. So we wanted to have all the optimizations for. I mean, this is independent from DevNet 3. We wanted to have them sometime between DevNet 2 and DevNet 3 to make sure that we can finish the benchmarking. But apart from that, maybe the engine API methods, right? There are still the engine API methods that are also in the scope for DevNet 3.
Yeah, Fabio.
Yeah, I was thinking about having both ETH70 and ETH71 in the same ball DevNet 3. Does it make sense to just merge them together and have only one new version of the P2P protocol? It's not a big deal, just to avoid having double to just deprecate ETH70 as soon as we have ETH71.
I think the idea was that ETH70 is ready to be activated without any block level access list code.
So before Glamsterdam.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Yes.
Regarding timelines, hopefully we can launch DevNet 3 sometime next week, maybe middle of next week. Maybe 25th of February. Set up as a target. Would everyone be okay with that?
It kind of depends on the other EIPs. If we want to add the other EIPs, I think we would probably need a bit more time. If we just say ETH71 and the changes to Bell, then I think next week should be fine for us.
All right. Regarding the scope, I completely missed last week's Core Devs call. What was the decision there? Which EIPs would be making it into DevNet 3? Okay. Tony, was that the only one?
If I remember correctly, there was 8037 and another one. I forgot which one it was now.
Yeah, as Maria is saying, the contract size one, exactly 7954. And then I think, if I can remember correctly, that one, though, I would double check with people, is that we hadn't made a call yet whether possibly we already have ETH70, ETH71 ready. I think that one we just wanted to see, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Ben?
There are a few EIP adjustments as well, like changing how was it swap end work, which I think need to be scheduled with the DevNet rather than changed on the fly. So if we
Would you have
confirm
a
that,
PR for that?
I think it was a comment on the last ACD. I'm not sure.
So, and yes, sorry, I wasn't aware that I should look into this before this call, but from my memory, I think there was one suggestion that was actually rejected, and the other one was just put up for discussion. So I don't think it was decided yet. Is my understanding, but maybe I misremember.
Yeah, I can dig that up after the call and put together a spec sheet for DevNet 3, and then we can maybe discuss timelines for on this next week. Let's just try to have everything implemented. 8037 and 7954 and ETH70 and 71 as well. And then let's see if we can still keep the target date next week, Wednesday. And if it's too tight, then we just push it maybe a week to the first week of March. If that sounds good. Mario, would you like to share your concern?
Yeah, I mean it seems like an easy change, but we still have to refill the tests with the 8037. To be honest, I'm out of the loop on the status of this in terms of tests, so I will have to check with the team to see if we have done any meaningful progress.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still concerned.
Okay. Does it mean that you would prefer to? Yeah, Spencer.
Yeah, sorry. So we have like a specs PR up for 8037, no test yet. So I do share the same concern as Mario, and I think there are some kind of small spec changes that might be needed for some EIP interactions. So I think maybe I can comment or start a thread in Discord with some of these potential spec changes, or even create a PR, and then we can get movement there. But yeah, I do share similar concerns with Mario. Just because we haven't got tests yet.
Right. Would you guys prefer if we just push 8037 outside of the scope of this?
I don't want to push anything out of scope that was decided on ICDE.
Okay.
I think we can start like pushing for the tests. I mean the most concerning part is that so some tests are definitely gonna break. I mean what we can assess whether it's too many and just take them off the release, for example. That could be one possibility. So we only fill the tests that do not break, and we can make a release for the clients to consume for the .NET 3. But still, it feels a little bit rushed to me, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Marius' suggestion would be to push it to the first week of March or remove the EIP. I would just say then let's try to aim for the 4th of March instead of the 25th of February and try to ship everything. Would that make it better for the testing team as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Regarding another was it simulate v1. So we would want to have it simulate JSON RPC added to every single EL client by DevNet 3 as well. Hopefully this can also be done. Obviously that's not a breaking request, but it's something that's gonna really help us do some benchmarking. So please try to get that done as well. And yeah, Ansgar also mentioned that ETH70 would be part of DNS 3 where clients can still support it, or they can still participate even without supporting the protocol. So yeah, I mean, we don't have to stress test basically those big receipts on DNS 3. I think we have a dedicated network for that. That's good enough. I think ETH71. Last time I checked, I think Guest also didn't have its simulate. But I can double check it, Marius. There was the daily Hive test that's running to test for these endpoints. Yeah, I can get back to that, Marius. Regarding implementing ETH71, whether we want this in DevNet 3 scope or not, what is the EL's take on this?
Sorry again.
Would you guys prefer to have ETH71 in the scope of DevNet 3?
I don't know. It depends on. I think it kind of depends on the clients that have not implemented ETH70 yet, because they will have to do much more work.
Yeah, I would prefer ETH71 to be postponed because it's yeah, it will be too much to implement both. But we
Anyone
can
from
have it in
Ref?
Dev 4.
Yeah, so it's Ref and Aragon, right? That have not yet implemented 870. Anyone from Ref can also comment on it?
Yeah, I think we provided an image. Let me get back to you. I don't see any blockers for 870 for us.
Right, okay. So if it's only Aragon, then I would actually suggest that we keep it in the scope of DevNet 3 and possibly launch without Aragon for DevNet 3 as well. And then we will still have 4 clients at Genesis time. And then we can add Aragon down the line when the implementation for them is complete as well.
So just on Bezu's side, we have it, but for the moment we are not passing Hive test, so I don't know if we have the complete implementation or if we need to add some fixes. But yeah, just wanted to share that.
Yeah, Ben?
Aragon's fine for syncing, aren't they? Because they don't actually care about the receipt. It's just for serving. That would be the problem. Is that correct?
Right, but that's for 870. We are not talking about 871.
Oh, sorry.
Oh wait, that's also optional.
Yeah, it's ETH71 is provides the way of like querying DALs from other nodes, and that is only used for sync improvements, right, Tony?
Yes, exactly. So we
Okay.
might not need it for DevNet 3,
Yeah.
I guess.
Then
But,
it's optional as well.
Then we're gonna put it in the optional bucket, and then whoever implements it is good, and whoever's not. So let's keep it at that. Okay. Anything else regarding local access list? If not, then maybe we can move on to the CL side, EPBS DevNet. Do we have any client updates from any CL teams?
I can speak from Teku. Making a little bit of progress. So we implemented the beacon API for the execution payload, but at the moment we don't support finalized retrieval of execution payloads. So I guess for DevNet 0 that'll be good so that nodes can sync. Yeah, making progress, but still not there yet.
When would you expect the code to be ready?
Maybe we can have some version in the next couple of weeks, I guess. And then polish it from there. But yeah, maybe in the next call, the next testing call, I'll be able to provide better timeline for that.
Okay. Yeah, because the original idea was to have a development up by mid-February, which is basically in 2 days. So that is probably not reasonable for Teku.
I don't think so. Well, we can have some hack version, but I would like to have something more complete. So yeah, I think it will be another week at least.
Okay. Anyone from Prism? Or Lighthouse?
Yeah, for Lighthouse, we have a DevNet 0 branch that we've been testing locally in like a Lighthouse only kurtosis network. We're working through some bugs. I think we got block production working, but somewhere along the lines of gossip envelope processing and importing, there's a bug. So we're working on fixing that, and we're hoping by the end of the week we'll be ready to like interop locally with another client, maybe like Consensor or something. But yeah, I don't think we'll be ready for February 18th either.
Okay, thank you. Nimbus?
Sure. So we have, I mean, Alpha 2 specs, we have block broadcasting, we have most things. We're starting to work on a first choice. I know that's not sort of super high priority for this, but the sort of the frontier for us right now is really the envelope, things like envelope syncing. So that yeah, the gossip stuff we should have, but this is now things like the syncing and if the backfilling sort of it like when we miss one through recresp, things like this. So uh that's yeah, I would say yeah, not 2 days from 2 or 3 days, yeah, not gonna happen, but yeah, well, uh I mean the other thing is that we have been trying to test on kurtosis and running into some of the same sort of issues that other clients have reported. I've linked this in a couple of places, and I know the steel, the all CL steel channel. So yeah, and we, well, I say we, it was this would be Caleb, I guess, would be the one who has tried this since, and I don't know what the outcome was, but I know that it was a little challenge. We were kind of blocked in proceeding to find out how far we how well it worked because it just ran into some of the issues on the EL sort of mock side. But that was earlier
Right.
today.
That should be fixed now, I think.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you. Lothar?
So we are having fork choice fully implemented, but still needs to be merged. There are a few outstanding PRs we need to merge. But once that's done, the main part that's missing is just wiring everything up. So the block import works, which will be the major work still left. Yeah, I think we will also need more than 2 days for that. It's probably 1 or 2 weeks.
Brandon? Nobody from Grandin around? Nobody from Prism, I guess? Okay, anybody else has anything else to add to EPPS.NET 0? This morning, I was actually able to get Consensor to pass all the tests and able to do the epoch transition into Gloss without any balls, just the EPBS stuff. Yeah, it's a very unperforming Python client that I vibe coded, and but it's working. Also, it cannot peer to any other normal clients, so it's not really production ready. But yeah. Next topic would be state bloat regarding perf.NET 2. Is anyone on the call regarding that? I know Nethermind had a database issue. Maybe we can get an update in the latest.
Yeah, I think the network is dead right now, right? At least that was my last what I read is basically all clients died, but Nethermind made it the furthest. And so now Nethermind also died, and we have a chain that is finalized where we don't have the blocks anymore because no EL client was able to keep up. And now the only way of doing that is to basically reorg the chain and create a new consensus layer. Otherwise, we would have to unfinalize something.
Right. Let's discuss this offline then. I think we might need to do a relaunch of the CL chain then.
Yep.
Okay, that was the agenda for today. Unless anyone else has anything else to add, I can call it a bit early today.
Take care, y'all.
Thanks everyone for coming. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.